A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. One of the 12, who was called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, "What are you willing to give me if I hand him over to you?" They paid him 30 pieces of silver, and from that time on, he looked for an opportunity to hand him over. On the first day of the Feast of the Unleavened Bread, the disciples approached Jesus and said, "Where do you want us to prepare for you to eat the Passover?" He said, "Go into the city to a certain man and tell him, 'The teacher says, my appointed time draws near. In your house I shall celebrate the Passover with my disciples.'" The disciples then did as Jesus had ordered and prepared the Passover. When it was evening, he reclined at a table with the 12. And while they were eating, he said, "Amen, I say to you, one of you will betray me." Deeply distressed at this, they began to say to him, one after another, "Surely it is not I, Lord." He said in reply, "He who has dipped his hand into the dish with me is the one who will betray me. The Son of Man indeed goes as it is written of him, but woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would be better for that man if he had never been born." Then Judas, his betrayer, said in reply, "Surely it is not I, Rabbi." He answered, "You have said so." The Gospel of the Lord. What are you willing to give me if I hand him over to you? Judas' chilling question is not just a moment in history. It echoes in our own hearts. How often in subtle ways do we exchange Jesus for fleeting rewards? We trade him for pride when we refuse to forgive. We trade him for comfort when we ignore those in need. We trade him for convenience when we choose silence over truth. And yet, even when we sell him for far less than 30 pieces of silver, his love does not waver. The tragedy of Judas is not his betrayal, but his belief that mercy was beyond his reach. His despair led him to a tree of death, while Peter, who also sinned, found life at the feet of mercy. Judas' story is not meant to leave us in sorrow, but to awaken us to hope. It reveals the danger of clinging to guilt, yet it also whispers the promise of redemption. No matter how many times we have denied, abandoned, or betrayed Jesus, his gaze is always one of love, calling us back. So when we fall and we will, let us run to him, not away. Let us be like Peter, who dared to weep, dared to hope, and dared to love again. For with God, even our greatest failures can become the doorway to grace.